Two bros chilling in the hot tub.
You the twos and we the ones? Well, you are the biggest two of them all, my dog. That's what you are. You are a giant number two.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Two Bros Podcast. As always, I am Bryce, and I am joined by...
Yo, I am Matt.
So, we really have two sports to talk about today because there's nothing going on in the NFL. The MLB is 20% through the season, so there's still really nothing to talk about. And then the NHL, the Penguins lost, so you have nothing to talk about with that. But the Flyers are keeping going, and they're losing. There we go. They're down 2-0.
Wait, I do have to say, the bet we made,
Yep.
the Flyers are the better team.
Hell yeah, there you go. There you go. The Flyers almost blew a 3-0 lead, though, but
That was close.
they didn't. They didn't. It took overtime in Game 7 for it to happen, but... Oh, well. No, was it Game 6 or 7?
6.
Oh, okay. Anyways, let's get right into the show because there's WWE news to talk about, and it's mostly not good stuff. So, first, in the WWE and New Day, this caught everybody off guard Sunday, I think, when it happened. WWE and New Day mutually agreed to part ways after 15 years of being a tag team. And it was a release. They were granted their release, but it's not a traditional, you got released and they wanted to stay there. No, it was we both think that this is the best way, and they got granted their release. TKO wanted to restructure their contracts to eliminate the guarantees and make it bonuses based on appearances and merch sales. And you and I both know what that means. They would be booked less and less because I don't know if you saw the graphic. I think that Kofi has only had 18 appearances the whole year already. Only.
The problem with that is that, like, if they're the ones who dictate your appearances and appearances dictate your bonus, they can just cut completely. Yeah. Like, oh, let's work them like crazy and then not use them at all for the next few months. They don't get their bonus. It's
exactly. Exactly. That's what Jerry Jones does with the Cowboys, that he has their contracts and then it's incentives based and it is bonuses based. And then you saw that with the Dallas Cowboys with Cooper Rush in the 2024 season, that had Cooper Rush have made like one more appearance or something, they would have given him a bonus, and Jerry Jones decided to not play him, and that's why he left Dallas the way he did. But yeah, anyways, we both know this is terrible. Karrion Kross talked about the whole structure with the way they wanted to do things on a podcast, I think after the whole Karrion Kross saga ended. And every contract right now, because New Day signed their new deal, I think, a year and a half ago, where it was like 5 years worth 7 figures each year. And then TKO wants to get younger. They want to get younger, which you can clearly see which I'm fine with that. Because a lot of the guys that, like, obviously they were big losses, but you can clearly tell they're trying to go younger. But with a team like the New Day, they're a team that they're on the Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling tag teams. I don't care what anybody says. It's the Hardys, it's Edge and Christian, it is the Dudleys, and then you have arguably the New Day, the Usos up there. But this is nuts. New Day is my favorite tag team of all time. So I have New Day shirts, I have the New Day cereal boxes, I have the pop vinyls, I have Big E figures. Like, this is just... It's sad because this is a team that you and I, since we've been watching wrestling, Kofi Kingston has been a staple of WWE.
He has been one of the most important people in all of WWE for almost 2 decades.
He has. And Kofi, this is worse than I think the Kairi Sane one, which, newsflash, we didn't talk about it last week, but WWE cut 23 people after WrestleMania. The Wyatt
Some very surprising ones.
The Wyatt Six, Aleister Black and Zelina Vega, and Kairi Sane were the main 9 that people were outraged about, which Kairi Sane was in an active storyline. So, yes. And the problem is they're cutting guys right now. They're releasing guys. They're not bringing guys back that are in active storylines that are ongoing that people are getting invested to. So it's going to start to make people say, hey, should I really care about this storyline if you're not a main eventer? Should I care about this guy? if they're not a main eventer. I get it. I am a fan of main event guys, and I think main event guys should be pushed and pushed and pushed. But you still have your guys. You still need your workhorses like your Carmelo Hayeses and your Sami Zayns and your Seth Rollins. And it's going to make people think that should we even care? And I think that this was pretty much the straw that almost broke the camel's back for me for WWE, because I love Kofi. I love Xavier Woods. I love Big E, and I get Big E can't wrestle, but it still sucks. Like, he should have stayed on TV as their manager. I think
he's gone as well.
No, he's with the company still. He does the panels. But it just sucks to see that Xavier Woods and Kofi are now gone. And I did hear a report that WWE wants to keep Xavier Woods around like they did with Tyler Breeze for game appearances, for game's sake. Like with them being GM. Because now what are they going to do with Up, Up, Down, Down, which is one of their huge things. And now Universe mode was kind of centered, my GM mode in WWE 2K is centered around Xavier Woods and Tyler Breeze because they made it so popular. And now people, what are they going to do for the games now? Because it's not just affects TV, it affects the games.
Like, this is also going to affect like just overall like usage. We know that the New Day was very, very important for just so many different things like marketing, advertising.
It's basically killed. The last two releases just destroyed the tag team division, because I forgot Motor City Machine Guns were part of the last releases too. So you released
we all know that the WWE signed them just so AEW couldn't.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Tag team title reign on them.
Yeah.
So people would get excited and then thought we would forget.
Mm-hmm. And now we're going to talk about another team that has pretty much been the center, the focal point of the tag team division over the last year, in which JC Matea and Tonga Loa did not have their contracts renewed, and now they are free to go wherever they want as soon as now. A lot of people thought when this
was a really tall one.
Tonga Loa was
Tama Tonga's brother.
Yeah, but Tonga Loa was the Botchamania guy. He was Botchaloa. That's who he was.
So the two of them, I'm not too. I like the MFTs. I think they're great.
Yeah,
I've been one of the people who's been very, very vocally high on the MFTs. I think they are proving that a stable doesn't have to be chasing the WWE title.
Yeah.
All the time. You can use a stable for the workhorse titles like your mid card and your tag teams. I'm not too upset with JC Mateo and Tonga Loa. The two of them just were never used. Tonga Loa was injured like crazy.
Yeah.
So
and he botched all the time. So it's not the end of the world. Like these two are not that big of a deal. I think they messed up with Jeff Cobb. I think they messed up by putting him with the MFT in the Bloodline.
He should have been getting the Royce Keys treatment of doing his own thing.
And
he was completely a beast outside of the WWE, and they really messed up. Tonga Loa should have been used heavily with how much he botched, they should have leaned into that and put him into a more comedy storyline. Let him run feuds with Danhausen and R-Truth. That's fine.
The problem with KO right now is they don't like the silly stuff because they're trying to make professional wrestling being taken seriously and viewed as almost like UFC right now.
But that's bull, because we see how they're completely diving into Danhausen and using him for merch. That's okay. The WWE, I was really proud of them when they jumped into Titus World Slide. They let him be funny. They let him dive into that because they knew it was going to sell merch. They knew it was going to go on.
The Titus World Slide thing, like Titus O'Neil is a lifelong WWE employee only for the fact that he's a ambassador.
Was gonna be that.
Who?
We thought Kofi and R-Truth were going to be that. R-Truth got fired once.
Yeah. I feel like there's going to be enough people outraged about the New Day that they may have to eventually be brought back.
I don't think the New Day will want to come back.
I don't think they should want to come back, though. I don't.
I think they may be done wrestling. I don't think you're going to see these guys moving to media.
I don't think they are. Xavier Woods, who's now, he said Austin Creed is back, so he's going to try to go independent, and I think that I think they should go AEW. I think they should.
I would like to see the two of them turn up in TNA.
TNA would be great, but
imagine Kofi being a TNA world champion.
Yeah, and I
don't think AEW would treat him like a world champion. TNA would.
They don't. TNA would. Ring of Honor. No, don't go to Ring of Honor. Don't.
Ring of Honor sucks.
Go to TNA. Go to TNA.
By the way, I'm saying, in my opinion, this makes TNA probably the best product we can look at right now. The WWE is cutting everybody. They're losing all these amazing talent, and AEW is just doing an outstanding job of building stars.
Well, you mean TNA is?
I'm thinking AEW.
You think AEW is the best wrestling product right now?
It goes AEW, TNA, then WWE.
I don't know about that one. I think AEW still has a lot of
AEW.
trash. I think AEW still has a lot of garbage going.
I think they have the best main event.
I mean, it all depends on what happens on Saturday. I think it really all depends on what happens on Saturday.
With Darby Allin?
No, with WWE. I think it does.
I think
we
should probably talk about it now.
So we're going to lump the next two things together because both of them are, well, we're going to talk about the stuff on Saturday right now. John Cena will be at Backlash Saturday in Tampa. I just let the man retire. Let the man stay gone. Like, he did not retire from WWE just to be used as a host at WrestleMania and then Backlash 3 weeks later. The problem is TKO has made the ticket prices unreasonable that they have to bring John Cena in to keep the ticket sales up. And I think...
Do you think a time will come where people are like, I've already seen John Cena 5 times this
year?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Trust me, we're probably going to see John Cena again in June. And then we're going to see him again in July, and we're going to see him again in August at SummerSlam. And then people are like, I don't want to see John Cena 5
Royal Rumble, we'll see him for sure.
Yeah, and people are like, no offense to John Cena, but we don't want to see John Cena because he retired, and now it's like he's not retiring. And part of me thinks that Danhausen's mystery opponent on Saturday,
mystery teammate,
is John Cena.
I really want Cena's final match. I don't think he'll let it. I don't think he will. If I had to pick somebody, I think his mystery teammate would probably be a debut.
People are saying it might be Jelly Roll.
I mean, the whole Kit Wilson and Miz thing kind of fits for him.
Yeah.
Yes, Jelly Roll.
But, like, the WWE product is so bad, and it sucks because there is amazing talent right now. You have Obafemi, who's being pushed to the moon. You have Trick Williams in his U.S. title reign. You have the potential Cody Rhodes CM Punk feud, which now it looks like it's put on the back burner because of Gunther. You have Roman Reigns, which we don't know. We don't know about Roman Reigns. But speaking of which, TKO has reportedly tried to restructure Roman Reigns' contract, and he will not do it. It is rumored that if he is angry enough, he will drop the title to Jacob Fatu on Saturday and walk away from WWE.
As a WWE fan,
do it.
I hope he does this because he needs to prove to them they can't treat their talent like this. And I want him to do this because the moment he walks away, I love Jacob Fatu. I think he's going to be awesome, but they're going to throw him into this too soon. And we're going to lose the potential dream match of Obafemi and Roman Reigns.
Yep.
I think Roman Reigns has to do this to tell the WWE they cannot keep screwing with creative.
It's TKO. It's TKO.
That's what I'm saying. You can't. What's it called? He has to do this to teach TKO they can't keep doing this.
Because WWE, they're paying. The problem is TKO does not want to pay him $15 million a year. They don't.
He's worth it.
Here's my thing with Roman Reigns. He is worth every penny. There's not a guy right now in the company. There's not a guy in the entire sport right now that is drawing better than Roman Reigns.
100%.
I will.
It's not close.
AEW, TNA, Ring of Honor, New Japan, Pro Wrestling Noah, PWG, MLW, AAA. Absolutely.
What do you think the odds are that this actually happens?
I don't think.
I think he's not dropping it. I think they're gonna cave because they know they need him.
Yeah. TKO, like he's not the New Day, and he's not Kofi and Xavier. He's not Kairi Sane. He's not the Wyatt Six. He's not Motor City Machine Gun. He's not Aleister Black and Zelina Vega. He is been WWE for the last 6 years. He has.
Yeah, they can't afford, especially with right now. I'm sorry, that fact that they're doing a terrible job continuing Cody's reign.
Yeah,
they cannot afford to lose the only really hot champion they have right now, world champion they have right now. Let's be honest.
The only good world championship we've had in WWE has been the World Heavyweight Championship over the last year. It has. Gunther's run. Well, we started off horribly with Jey Uso, and then they dropped it to Gunther.
No, first off, the first one was Seth Rollins.
No, I'm starting from WrestleMania. I'm saying from WrestleMania last year. Jay's reign was not good. Then they realized that, put it back on Gunther, and then Punk had it. Punk had one of the best title reigns we've seen. It's been the best title reign since Roman Reigns has dropped the title. Punk's reign has.
So I actually, if we're talking just world title reigns, yes.
World titles, yeah.
I think that since Punk dropped the title, we have to recognize that Melo had probably one of the best title reigns, and it was super short, but Melo's U.S. title run was arguably one of the best we've seen in the past 5 years.
Melo's U.S. title run was incredible. And I'm excited to see what they do with Trick Williams. I just hope it's not too late with WWE. I think if WWE keeps going this way, WWE's done in 5 years, and it's all thanks to TK.
If they keep going this way, we're gonna see them take a backseat to TNA and AEW in no time.
Tony Khan will buy WWE at one point,
and you know what? That might be what we need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I actually don't mind the idea of combining the two. There's so much amazing talent, and I think as long as we can get TKO out of it, I'd be kind of excited to see what Tony Khan and Triple H could do.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
That could work really well.
Tony Khan secretly buys it, but
nobody knows. Right? WWE already has a partnership with TNA, so you would have the 3 largest American companies constantly working together.
Oh yeah,
I honestly could see that being a really good thing for the wrestling business.
Like you see Roman Reigns show up on AEW television one day.
Imagine Roman Reigns versus Jon Moxley versus Seth Rollins versus CM Punk, or imagine Cody Rhodes versus MJF
for the WWE Championship.
Imagine like, oh shoot, big Powerhouse Hobbs versus, or I guess he's
Royce Keys versus Wardlow.
We already saw that. Or fine, imagine this: Brock Lesnar comes back to face Wardlow.
People are saying that Brock Lesnar got the TKO treatment. They wanted to restructure, and he said, nah, and then he just retired.
Speaking of restructuring, it looks like one unnamed top star is asked to take a 50% pay cut over the weekend, and they agreed to it.
Who do you think it is?
The Miz.
I think it was either LA Knight or Penta.
I think it was probably Cody or The Miz.
I mean,
I'm sorry. LA Knight knows all he has to do is get himself out of there is not take a pay cut. I think he's going to AEW.
I'm hearing reports that Triple H does not like LA Knight.
Well, that's been known.
Yeah,
that's clear as day.
Yeah.
So realistically, like there's a real strong chance
could it be Seth Rollins that took the pay cut.
So you got to think about who doesn't need it. Who's been around for a while. The Miz has had a 20-year career. He doesn't care. The money's there. Cody Rhodes built his own company and is making an insane amount of money with WWE.
He doesn't need the company. He doesn't need it.
LA Knight was on the indies for a while. I know he's made good money, but honestly, I think he respects himself enough to say no to that.
Yeah.
I also think LA Knight
not marketable like Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, The Miz, or CM Punk.
I think LA Knight is in a Punk. No, he hates TKO. No chance he took a pay cut.
You're right.
I think LA Knight's in the next round of cuts.
You're right, because TKO screwed him in UFC.
Yeah, well, I do truly think that LA Knight is in the next round of cuts. I think Ray Phoenix is in the next round of cuts.
I don't think Ray Phoenix would, because Penta's his brother, and I think Penta has some sort of pull.
I'm not gonna lie. I think we see JD McDonough, maybe Finn Balor.
I don't do the Finn Balor thing.
I really do think we're gonna see the women's wrestling gutted. I think you're gonna see, like, what's it called? Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Asuka's.
I mean, I think it makes sense because Asuka versus Io Sky is happening at Backlash, and when
Io Sky goes over,
I think we could see a day where,
you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I don't even know if Alexa Bliss is safe.
I think so. I think she is.
I think the only ones in the women's division who are safe are like Charlotte Flair, Bianca, Jade, Rhea Ripley, AJ. Paige just came back. Your Bellas, your NXT call-ups,
Flash Legend, Nia Jax.
I would not be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of NXT is gutted.
Well, they gutted a lot of NXT in the.
I think Tony D'Angelo drops the title, and we see him probably gone at some point soon.
Like Andre Chase was gone, and then you had.
This is the second time.
He is, yeah.
All right, looks like we did hit the end of our WWE portion, guys. What I will say, let us know who you think is probably the next cuts for the WWE. I keep saying it. We can all tell after Backlash there's going to be more.
Yeah.
It's almost a guarantee there will be more cuts after Backlash.
Yeah, I feel like there's going to be monthly cuts now. And apparently...
I really think you're going to find whoever's not willing to take the pay cuts and whoever didn't get TV time that month, like, oh, well, let's save their salary and cut them out.
Yep. And it sucks that we have to think that way.
And we'll see the same people cycled through over and over, the same matches over and over, because they're going to have no superstars. So they're going to be pulling from NXT like crazy.
Yeah.
Which is going to then force the NXT call-ups to fail because it's just too early.
Yeah. Like, you look, like, I feel like they had to bring Ricky Saints up. Well, Ricky Saints was ready. Ethan Page was ready. Royce Keys, ready, because they put Royce Keys right away. Ethan Page and Ricky Saints were fine because they were up on TV. I feel like it's a little early for Blake Monroe. I still do.
I think Fatal Influence was ready.
Fatal Influence was there for down in NXT for way too long. If they're not ready, they never will be.
if they're not going to bring Tony D'Angelo up yet, they're going to cut him.
Yeah.
The guy has been on there for way too long.
Yeah. And, like, people...
Oh, no. Sean Spears is going to get cut, isn't he? Again.
That's not that big of a
Lexus King.
That's really...
No,
Lexus King's not. Lexus King's not.
I really like that Birthright. I like them a lot. I think they're really solid. So
Sean Spears is not that big of a deal. I feel like he's not...
Yeah, he's probably going to go back to TNA or AEW.
I feel like he's not used that much. I do want to see him face off against Cody, though, on the main roster. Just with to renew that rivalry with a chair shot heard around the world. The most lethal chair shot. But
probably the biggest moment of his entire career.
People talk so much garbage on Vince's WWE. Guess what he didn't do? Bi-weekly cuts because
here's the thing. If we want to talk about, we'll finish the WWE section after this, but if we want to talk about the best WWE we've gotten, we need to talk about right after Vince and leading up to WrestleMania.
Pre-TKO, yeah.
I still think Triple H has a problem. I think he hates LA Knight. We know he doesn't push black talent very well, but that was the best wrestling we got, the best story we got. TKO came along and they really did just gut what WWE had created over the last 10 years.
They really did. And I'm fine with them getting younger, but you still need vets around. You still do.
You need people like The Miz. You need people like the Usos, the New Day.
Punk.
You need people. You need locker room leaders.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, when you're cutting everybody, what really bothered me is Aleister Black. I think he was never going to be a world champion, but
there was rumored to have been Randy Orton's opponent at WrestleMania.
Really?
And then it was going to be Randy turning heel later.
Oh, yeah, because it was originally supposed to be Rollins versus Roman, Punk versus Cody.
That was even after Rollins came back. It was rumored to be Orton versus Aleister Black at WrestleMania. That's what was rumored to happen.
Yeah.
But we'll never get it. And honestly, I don't think Aleister Black should come back. I don't think he should. Like, they cut him twice. Like, I don't know what they're doing. But anyways, that was WWE. Detroit comes back from down 3-1 to beat the Magic in 7 games. What is your takeaway on this series?
This says more about the Pistons than the Magic. The Magic were on borrowed time. We knew they weren't the talented team that we thought that was putting out. This just shows that Detroit needed that much time to beat down an 8 seed. It made me nervous if I'm a Pistons fan. This is coming from a Cavaliers fan, so I do know that this matchup coming up kind of favors Cleveland a little bit because they have strong bigs, but if I am the Pistons, I'm a little nervous. I'm looking at this like, am I able to make a run? Let's just say you get past Cleveland. Am I going to get past New York? And I don't think the answer is yes for either.
That all depends on another one. But that all depends on New York making it. But we'll see. Next.
After last night, yeah, they're fine.
My thing with Detroit is it's not a Cade Cunningham issue. It's not.
No.
Cade was so good. He had 225 points in the first round. And then I think he's the first player ever to have like 225 points, 50 plus assists, and like 50 plus rebounds in a first round playoff series ever or something. He made history or something. I forget exactly what it is. But you have to look at the pieces around him. Is Tobias Harris good enough? Is Jalen Duren good enough?
Is Duncan Robinson?
No, absolutely not. I don't think Duncan Robinson.
Oh yeah, you're not a fan of Duncan Robinson.
I'm really not the hugest fan of Duncan Robinson.
You're also not a fan of just straight up just shooting. So
yeah.
You want versatility.
Yeah. And next we're going to talk about Philadelphia. This series has had a lot of people up in arms over the last few days because Philadelphia came back from down 3-1 to beat Boston in 7. And I see a lot of Celtics fans saying that the only reason why the Sixers won is because Jason Tatum didn't play in Game 7. Here's my thing. Jason Tatum played in Games 5, 6. He played in Games 1 through 6. They were up 3-1. You mean to tell me they couldn't close it out in Game 5? Or Game 6?
I don't know if you saw the clip, but Jaylen Brown went on his stream and just basically said it was all the refs' fault.
Oh, yeah.
And
first off, flopper.
As the superstar of this team, you kind of have to want, Oh my gosh. You kind of have to like look at that and be like, are you kidding me? You cannot be making these excuses. Can we talk about how they missed, what, I was like 11 straight shots?
Yeah. Can we also talk about how the guy that the center that they acquired at the trade deadline was getting DNP'd in game 7?
But that's because Joe Mazzulla, as good of a coach as he is, he's super analytical. His mindset is if I can stretch the floor and shoot a bunch of threes, we're going to win.
Vucevic shoots threes.
Here's the problem, though. You live by the 3, you die by the 3. And also, I'm not going to lie, Nikola Vucevic isn't a great defender. He wasn't going to slow down a beat anyways.
Yeah, but here's my thing. If he wants stretching the floor, Nikola Vucevic does that really well. He's a great three-point shooter. He's a great rebounder. And you mean to tell me that they'd much rather run with Neemias Queta and Luka Garza in Game 7 over a guy who is a
Hugo Gonzalez, who's what, 6'8"?
Hugo Gonzalez, yeah.
Who's facing a 7'1", 300-pound center who has, by the way, people forget he's a former MVP.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Joel Embiid right now is playing at 65%. He's not fully out.
He had a pretty bad game last night, but he also, once again, dealing with an appendix.
Yeah, he had his appendix removed literally 3 weeks ago.
This Celtics game, it just proves to me that you can't look at a record and think that's what a team plays. And I'm sorry, these first two things, the Pistons and the Celtics, a record isn't an indication of what kind of a team you are.
I think all of us knew, though, that the East
may have had favorable matchups.
I think a lot of us knew, though, that in the East, the 1 through 8 seed, there's really not that much of a gap anyways. The 1 through 8...
If I'm being honest, Philly itself, if it's healthy, is a 55-win team. Even Orlando, if it's healthy, it's a 49 to 50 win team.
Yeah, neither one of them are 8 seeds.
Are very good. In my opinion, I had been saying this from the beginning. The person coming out of the East is going to come from 3 or 4.
Yeah.
No matter what. 1 and 2 looked very fraudulent from a start. 3 and 4 had their dominance. Even 5 and 6 were pretty good teams.
Yeah.
To be honest, 3, 4, or 5, in my opinion, were the best 3 teams in the East.
Yeah. The Knicks,
Cavaliers, and Raptors.
The Hawks played really well, too. The Hawks were up at one point on the Knicks.
I'm sorry. If the Hawks had to face the Celtics or the Pistons, I think they move on.
Yeah. Yeah. I think had Orlando have faced the Knicks, and I think had Atlanta had faced the Pistons, I think it's a much different story. And I don't think we have 1 or 2 seeds in the playoffs in the East anymore. Because
I agree. I think it's a very different case from the East and West, right? The West, we can tell 1 and 2 are just dominant. Those are the best teams by far. Now, yes, last night was a different story. I think the dog that Anthony Edwards is. But the East, it's pretty obvious. Like the back 4 are just really talented teams.
Yeah. And you obviously had your teams in the East who are looking like the favorites. Obviously, you see like the Knicks now. I think people overrated the Celtics only because their season was as good as it was because they didn't really have that hard of a schedule in the regular season. They didn't. And yes, all props in the world to Jason Tatum for coming back in March to make late February to make a playoff run. But let's be honest. If the Celtics were anywhere like the Pacers were last year, Jason Tatum doesn't play at all this season at all. Had they have been right around the same record that the Pacers were, he doesn't play. And I think the Pacers realistically are a better team than the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, I was going to say, the best team in the East missed the playoffs this year.
The best team in the East missed the playoffs because of Tyrese Halliburton not playing.
And let's be real here. The Pacers are probably going to get a top 3 pick.
Oh, yeah.
Which should make them scary. Tyrese Halliburton will be back. They're going to have it. If it's a Zubats, Pascal Siakam, whoever their top 3 pick is. On top of that, you have what's his name? Andrew Nembhard. You have a lot of really good shooting. This Pacers team should be the favorite to come out of the East next year by far.
So, yeah, I think so. And I think because people see Jaylen Brown and Derek White, all of a sudden, the Celtics can't be bad. No, this series proved that when Derek White and Jaylen Brown have to be the guys, they're not the same player. Derek White played like absolute garbage in round 1. Jaylen Brown was not the 28-point Jaylen Brown we saw in the regular season. The 28-point rebound Jaylen Brown we saw in the regular season.
This series brought back bully ball.
Yeah.
This series took us back to the 90s when Shaquille O'Neal was dominating teams. and their guards couldn't hold up.
Yeah.
I saw someone say, if you want to know what the closest thing to looking at Prime Shaq is, watch Joel Embiid in this series.
Yeah. And I've always viewed Joel Embiid as like a Hakeem Olajuwon, but that's exactly what he was this series. When he hasn't been able to use his full skill because he's not fully healthy, he's just playing bully ball and dominating. He's pushing guys back. And the Celtics didn't have a guy who could stop him. And that's what nobody in the East really does. Nobody in the East really has anybody that can stop a fully healthy Joel.
We can take 1 second and talk about Embiid. Which is so scary about him is when he is fully healthy, he can play bully ball or he can beat you from his jumper.
Yeah.
Like, he is arguably one of the scariest players in the NBA when fully healthy. And I really hate that these past few years have gotten so much disrespect on the player he is. Let's not forget, when he's healthy, he's a top 5 player in the league.
Joel Embiid won MVP 2 seasons ago.
When he's fully healthy, he's top 5 in the league. That's not a question.
Yeah. Joel Embiid, his MVP season, averaged 33 a game with 12 rebounds and 2.5 blocks. And then the season before, and then the season after he won MVP, he got hurt, but he was still averaging 32. That season was arguably better than his MVP season.
At full power, the only center I can argue in the league is who is better than him is Wemby.
Yeah.
Because you know what he does do that Jokic doesn't bring? He brings defense. He might not be the same facilitator that the Jokic is, but he's as good of an offensive player.
No big man is the facilitator. But no,
Jokic. So still, Embiid will get you 6 assists on a good night. Embiid, if you ask for a really good night, he's going to give you 35, 14, 6, and 3 blocks.
This is exactly why people thought I was crazy when I said Embiid fully healthy was better than Jokic, and I think Embiid should realistically have 2 MVPs. And people called me crazy. Now we're seeing that this is Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid, if he didn't have his knee issues, Joel Embiid is a top 3 center of all time. He is. Because he has way more MVPs, he has a ring by now, and he has more All-Star appearances.
Joel Embiid should have had a Defensive Player of the Year at this point.
Yeah, he should. He's the best. He's the second best defensive big in basketball.
He ran into Rudy Gobert, Anthony Davis, and Jaren Jackson, and now Wemby. Sadly, he'll never have a DPOY, but he should have at least one.
Yeah. And Evan Mobley, too. Evan Mobley won DPOY.
Speaking of Evan Mobley.
Okay.
The Cavaliers closed out the Raptors in 7 games. And dear God, that last game was...
They played tonight.
They do. As a Cavs fan, that first half scared the crap out of me. I was like, they're done. They couldn't hit a single shot, but wow. The Cavs flexed their muscle in the second half. They just went off. And no disrespect to the Raptors, who are a very good team. The Raptors fans should be very excited about their team. Just Cleveland had the firepower. They have the all-star talent. Donovan Mitchell, James Harden, Evan Mobley, and Jared Allen looked like a scary, scary team to face off against.
And you know what's funny? We haven't even talked about OKC at all, really, in the playoffs, because they did their job. They swept Phoenix.
Them and San Antonio finished way too early.
Yeah, so it's really all been Game 7s or Game 6s, everybody.
Speaking of Game 6s, we had the Lakers take down the Rockets in Game 6 to advance to the second round. Bryce, tell us about your team.
So, I think that the Lakers hurt a little more when Austin Reeves came back, because the Lakers did have this semblance of chemistry in games 1, 2, and 3. And even game 4, you could argue that they had some semblance of chemistry with Marcus Smart and Austin Reeves scoring 20 each in the first 3 games. And you had LeBron playing LeBron of old, where he's the guy that can put the Lakers, put a team on his back and carry the playoffs. We saw that LeBron in the first round again. However, I don't think that we're going to get the same Lakers team in round 2, because they are unfortunately cursed with playing OKC. And I don't know how this series is going to go. I don't think it's going to be a sweep, because LeBron in the playoffs does not get swept unless it's the Golden State Warriors. And I think that Golden State Warriors team is a million times better than this OKC team.
I think we see at least 6.
I think it's 6, because Luka's already been confirmed out tonight. He's not playing tonight for game 1. So they have Austin Reeves, LeBron, Luke Kennard, Marcus Smart, and DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton's getting a lot better this playoffs, yeah, because he's embraced his role. But Laker fans, be ready for this to potentially be the last basketball that the Lakers play until October.
And not just that, probably the last basketball with LeBron.
This playoff run, though, has kind of made me sad, because Lakers fans turned on LeBron. They really did over the last season. And we see that without LeBron in the playoffs, they get swept. They do. LeBron was there all 5 games. He was the best player in the court for all 6 games. And this is why the Lakers realistically have had LeBron since 2017, or since 2018, because they never needed LeBron in the regular season. LeBron has always been needed for the Lakers in the postseason. And LeBron is just good enough to get them into the playoffs, and then he turns it up in the postseason and becomes 50-point triple-double LeBron.
He's insane. All right, speaking of the Western Conference, Minnesota took down San Antonio 104-100. Anthony Edwards' first game back from injury had 18, and 11 of it came in the fourth quarter. Wemby had 11 points, 15 boards, and 12 blocks. He's the second player in playoff history, joining Andrew Bynum only to ever record a triple-double with blocks. He also set the record for blocks in a playoff game. Wow.
What I watched from the second half, my God, what an insane second half. This is just, there were like 17 ties at one point. It was like 15 or 18 lead changes or something. This game was absolutely insane. And then you have the last minute of the game where Anthony Edwards allows 2 offensive rebounds. Then he makes that boneheaded pass that ties the game or that puts the Spurs down by 2. And then the Spurs, 2 seconds left, Julian Champagny shoots a step back 3 and misses, and the Spurs lose by 2.
The only thing I can say about this is I need 7 games. I want 7 games of this dogfight.
And I think you and I think really everybody else has kind of underrated Minnesota this year, because they didn't have Ayo Dosunmu last night. They don't have Dante DiVincenzo, and 2 of their top 4 players right now are out. And then Rudy Gobert did not look like the same Rudy Gobert of the round 1 last night, because he's playing.
There's a big difference in playing Wemby and Jokic.
Well, not really. I don't know.
No, I'm talking when you play Wemby, you have to recognize that you are not just getting an offensive talent, you are getting the best defensive player we've seen in the past decade.
That's true.
Wemby, you can get away with Rudy kind of getting 10 points when you have Jokic. Wemby is not going to let this man in the paint. Rudy is an amazing decoy. If you think you can expect to give him the ball in the paint and potentially move around, Wemby is good enough to stop him and then turn around and stop the guy cutting in.
Yeah.
Jokic wouldn't even try.
Yeah. So realistically, 3 out of their top 5 players were either not playing or just not fully healthy. And this series, I wish we would have got a fully healthy Minnesota Timberwolves San Antonio Spurs series, because this is going to be absolute insanity.
This is going to be straight up cinema.
Yeah, it is. It might be one of the greatest playoff series in recent memory that we've ever got.
Dude, I really want 7 games of these 2 teams.
It's going to be nuts. It's going to be insane. And
because, like, if you look at the 7 games of the the Celtics series, man, that was really good as well. Every game came down to something that you fought for. This is the exact same thing. Minnesota and San Antonio are going to battle.
This is just gritty basketball. That's exactly what this is.
In my opinion, the 2 faces of the league in Anthony Edwards and
Victor Wembanyama series.
The two of the best players.
I wish this was a conference finals.
Oh, God, that'd be so good.
Like, because we all know OKC and San Antonio is going to be great if they both make it. We don't know. We don't know
which one of we don't know if it's going to be San Antonio or Minnesota. Sorry, Bryce.
We don't know if it's going to be none. We don't know if it's going to be both. We don't know if it's going to be one or the other. But here's my thing with the Lakers, though, in the playoffs, you can never really count them out. That's the thing.
I agree.
But
this OKC team is just different.
And it sucks because I think the Spurs are kind of dealing with what the Pistons had to last year and the Kings of a few years ago to deal with them being the young team in the playoffs, the young Bucks. Mm-hmm. And I think experienced teams like Minnesota, who have been to 2 straight conference finals, they know exactly what to do and how to win in the playoffs to make a deep playoff run.
Is this Wemby's first ever playoffs?
It is. They didn't make it last year.
So exactly. This is Wemby's first ever time. This is Ant's 3rd playoffs or 4th playoffs?
This is Anthony Edwards' 4th playoffs now, because I think they made it this season.
He's been here. He knows what to do here.
Yeah.
And I honestly wouldn't be upset if we got an OKC Minnesota rematch. Another great series, but I do think the team that can face up best with OKC is San Antonio.
Yeah, because they beat them
3 out of 4 games.
They beat them 4 times in 5 games in the regular season.
4 out of 5 or 3 out of 4?
No, 4 games.
You're right. 4 out of 5.
4 games out of 5. So
speaking of another game that wasn't even wasn't even sniffing the similarity. The Knicks blew out the Sixers 137-89. Dude, the Knicks haven't lost. The Knicks have won by over 40 points in their last 2 games. They beat the Hawks by 60, and they beat They beat the Sixers almost by 50. They've won by almost 110 points.
Here's my thing. I really don't want the Knicks to win because the Knicks fan base is absolute. We think the Celtics fan base is bad right now. No, we don't want the Knicks. We don't want the Knicks in the conference finals at all because they will not shut up. They will make every excuse if their team loses on why they should have been there, on why the Knicks fans will never see that their team is the problem. It's everybody else around them, but that's New York sports in general. The Yankees lost to the Dodgers. They blamed it on everybody else but the Yankees' inadequacies to be able to hit the baseball. The Mets, it's everybody else around them why they had the 12-game losing streak. The Giants and the Jets, everybody else is out to get us. The Islanders and the Rangers, everybody else hates us. But New York never looks themselves in the mirror as the problem. New York sports fans never look at their teams as the problem.
This is almost why I wanted Boston to win, because Boston would have handled the Knicks, no problem.
No.
The Celtics would have handled the Knicks.
I don't think so at all.
If I'm being honest, I don't think the Knicks make it past the Cavs.
No, I don't. I think
we're going to get a Cavs Thunder finals this year, most likely.
Could you imagine a Cavs Spurs finals again?
Or a Cavs Lakers finals? LeBron versus his old team in the finals.
LeBron versus his old team in the NBA finals.
I'm sorry, but you do realize Donovan Mitchell will be getting his first title then.
Are you kidding me? Mr. can only score 40 in losses in the playoffs? Nah.
He dropped 37 in their game 1 victory.
Yeah, he's dropped 40 and 50 in playoff losses. If Donovan Mitchell,
your teammate.
If they have to rely on Donovan Mitchell to be their number 1 option, they lose.
Dude, you realize the past 2 games it's been Jared Allen and Evan Mobley as their number 1? All right, well, that's beside the point. Yes,
see,
I really don't want the Knicks to win this series.
I don't.
I would love it if Philly won the series. I don't think they're going to.
Can you imagine Philly going down 3-1 again?
Look, I'm going to say this now. The Knicks got lucky. There was a very beat up Embiid last night.
Yeah.
Maxey was struggling. Paul George wasn't hitting his shots. VJ Edgecombe. I do think if this Sixers team is on fire, they're good enough to beat anyone.
Yeah, I think so too. And because they do have the firepower, Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, VJ Edgecombe. They have Gershon Yabusele, who Knicks fans hate right now. But anyways, enough of actual game talk because the Magic fired their head coach Jamal Mosley after 5 seasons? And after their first round collapse to the Detroit Pistons, what do the Magic realistically do next when looking for their head coach?
Pray. Because let's be real here, this team is not constructed for any head coach to want to take over.
No.
I am a big fan of Paolo Banchero. I'm a big fan of Franz Wagner, and I'm a big fan of Anthony Black. Jalen Suggs' money is going to hold you back so much. Wendell Carter's making a lot of money. These contract extensions you've given to Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero are going to strap you for cash. I would be very nervous to see who they can land. I wouldn't be surprised if the only option they can land is the coach. Another fired coach. If we see someone from the playoffs get fired, maybe if the Nuggets move on.
Wants to come back to coaching in the NBA.
Was that
Tom Thibodeau wants to be an NBA head coach?
All right, well, Paolo Banchero is going to lose some weight then because that man runs you to death.
He will play 48 minutes.
I think a great fit for this team would be a David Adelman because he loves his defense.
He didn't have the Malone if he didn't go and.
Mike Malone would have been good. Part of me wonders if we could see Steve Kerr. See if he can build up another young team. I do think Steve Kerr probably ends up as an analyst. I think we can both agree Steve Kerr is done with the Warriors with Draymond publicly bashing him at this point.
Yeah.
So I do feel bad for the Magic because I don't have any issues with them. I think they're a fun team. They're young. I like their players. I just think they're so heavily defensive that they kind of forget offense is another part of the game.
Also, all of their contracts are going to 5 players or 4 players. You're going
to have to re-up Anthony Black. I don't know how they're going to afford that. You're going to have to give money. You're going to have to give money to Mo Wagner, who's been a key piece for you off the bench. You're going to have to think about if you're going to
have the advantage of going over the salary cap to sign some players.
I think you have to question, are they going to move Paolo or Franz? Or Jalen Suggs?
That's not the one that I'm thinking. Are they going to have to move the guy they just gave up 4 firsts for last offseason?
I totally forgot about Desmond Bane. He was a non-factor in this series.
He was.
And that's one of the reasons he brought him in, to be a strong shooter for the playoffs.
To be their go-to scorer.
23 straight field goals, you have to look at your go-to scorer and say why. Desmond Bane has been their guy as our spark plug. If you miss 23 straight field goals...
That's what made him so good in Memphis, is that he was the go-to scorer, but it was still Ja and Jaren Jackson's team. Right now, this Orlando Magic team doesn't have a true identity.
If I'm being honest,
one player.
We might all bash Ja Morant. He is a versatile enough player to get to the basket and score. Paolo Banchero is not great finishing at the rim. He's not a great shooter, and he's not great at free throws. There's just nothing he does super well. He's just all around good. Ja Morant, one of the best finishing point guards in the league. Jaren Jackson Jr. is one of the best mid-range shooting bigs in the league.
3-point shooting bigs in the league, too. Mm-hmm. He's one of the best 3-point shooting bigs in the league.
100%. He is a versatile player. Franz Wagner is good. He's just not great. Paolo Banchero is good, but he's just not great. Outside of the two of them, you have Anthony Black, who's a good shooter, but he's not a number one.
Jalen Suggs.
He's a terrible offensive player. He's just a defender. So you have Wendell Carter, who's being asked to do a lot, and Desmond Bane, who's not a number one.
He could be a go-to scorer. He just can't be the go-to guy. He can't.
Exactly. And they're making him into a number one because Paolo's too go-to.
Because, Paolo is built more for a Ben Simmons or Draymond Green type role. Lamar Odom, Andre Iguodala. That's honestly,
he's a great point forward.
That's why Steve Kerr, I think, would be great, because I think he could build guys into exceeding their actual full potential. That's why you make Paolo almost like an Andre Iguodala, Draymond Green.
I think if you want Paolo to thrive, you turn him into a Scotty Barnes.
Yeah, him as Scotty would be great.
Now, Paolo is not an amazing defender. You need to work on that.
Yeah.
But I think if you can make him the point forward of this team, I think you succeed a lot. And I'm sorry, Franz needs to go. He's not a very good second option.
And also, he
need a better scoring
fell off. His shooting kind of fell off. Well, I get Franz was also hurt a lot this series, so that's another.
I understand, but he's just not the player that they expect him to be, and that's okay. I think he would do better with Milwaukee or a Memphis or even a Toronto. I think if you can move a Franz Wagner for a guy like Brandon Ingram, who you know is a great scorer,
you're
going to see a better of a fit with this team.
Yeah. Speaking of the Raptors. Former Raptors GM Masai Ujiri has been named the president of basketball operations for the Dallas Mavericks.
So I'm a lot higher on the Raptors than a lot of people are. I think this is going to be great for the Mavericks.
I think it is too, actually. No, I was laughing because of the Mavericks.
Masai Ujiri, I think they're going to get a really good GM. He built the team we see right now.
Yeah,
he built this team that took probably the best team in the Eastern Conference in the playoffs right now to 7 games.
Well, I don't think he didn't make the Brandon Ingram trade.
He fired him last year. They fired him after the draft.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
They fired him after this draft.
That's right, they did.
So I think you look at this guy and you can see the young talent that they have in Dallas, and I'm really excited to see what he's going to do with it. He's actually going to dive into our next question.
He's also responsible for the Kawhi Leonard trade, too, that got them a ring.
In my opinion, I'm going to talk about him again in the next question.
Okay. Next, I think this is going to be great for the Mavericks. You and I both think it is, because he's built a championship contender, a perennial title contender with Toronto. I'm excited to see what he does now that he has a Cooper flag. But next, here's my thing. There's a lot of speculation right now after Game 6 about the Rockets trading away the guy they just acquired in the offseason last season, Kevin Durant. In your opinion, what should the Rockets do? Should they be in panic mode? Should they blow it all up? Did they rush into everything fast?
Kevin Durant was right. Everything he tweeted about this team is correct. And we saw it on display. These young guys aren't what they thought they were. No. I'm sorry. You gave up Jalen Green, who's a proven scorer, to keep around Alperen Sengun, who obviously doesn't care about the game. You keep around Reed Shepherd. You keep around Amen Thompson, who I think is outstanding.
Amen Thompson's great. He's not.
In my opinion, what they should do this offseason is they should keep Kawhi. They should keep Kevin Durant. I'm sorry, you don't have the assets to get Giannis Antetokounmpo, So you're gonna get Kawhi.
They gave them up to get.
You're gonna land Kawhi and Kyrie, and you're gonna make 1 or 2 deep runs. The young guys aren't what they thought they were gonna be. And sorry, I don't think Alperen Sengun's gonna turn into Baby Jokic. Amen Thompson's awesome, but he's just not the offensive focal point, and Reed Sheppard is going to go down as a bust.
Here's my thing. I think Amen Thompson is the problem with the Rockets is they did not have a point guard. And I think when Freddie went down, that should have signified, hey, we need to make another move. And the fact that they just traded for Kevin Durant and did nothing else, and then Freddie goes down, they should have been like, okay, we need to panic. We need to make a move right now. Get any point guard that is not a 3 that is being forced into playing a point guard in Amen Thompson. Because let's be honest, Amen Thompson is versatile, but he's not a point guard. He's not. I love Amen Thompson. He's a great rebounder. He's a great passer. He's a great defender. What he is not is he is not a scorer, but he should not be a point guard. It's like the Mavericks earlier this year when they tried to make Cooper Flag a point guard, and he is not.
Doesn't work.
Clearly saw him struggling. When was Amen Thompson viewed as this super elite top 10, top 15 player? Last year when they had Fred VanVleet.
In my opinion, the next season, your lineup should look like this. Kyrie Irving at your point guard, Tari Eason at your shooting guard, Kevin Durant at your small forward, Kawhi Leonard at your power forward, Steven Adams at your center with a 6-man of Fred VanVleet, DFS, and then if you can keep a hold of a younger guy like a Reed Sheppard, you do it.
I think you have to keep Amen Thompson. You have to. I
don't think you can't land a Kyrie or Kawhi without giving up Amen Thompson.
I mean, I feel like Jabari Smith and Reed Sheppard and Tari Eason should go before Amen Thompson do.
So you know what? I forgot about Jabari Smith. Maybe you can keep Amen Thompson if you give up Jabari Smith, Reed Sheppard, and like a first rounder for Kawhi.
Jabari Smith right now is kind of a net negative NBA player right now.
And I think it's just because the system he's in. Ime Udoka doesn't know how to use him. I think a team like the Clippers would use him very well, or a team like the Mavericks that could pair him up with Cooper Flag would be awesome. I think Alperen Sengun is 100% gone this offseason. I think he has proved he's not their guy.
I think also that we need to look at Ime Udoka also.
I'm surprised. I would not be surprised if he's gone.
Ime Udoka is the same guy who couldn't make this same exact Boston Celtics team that had Drew Holiday couldn't win a ring with him. He couldn't. And then Joe Mazzulla comes in after Ime Udoka has all of his issues going on and immediately wins them a ring. And I get they had Kristaps, but
I really believe you're going to see 2 major moves, and I think you're going to watch at least Alperen Sengun and Jabari Smith gone. Now, I just don't think they have the assets for Giannis. I think that 2 players that are on the market, like Kawhi and Kyrie, who are easier to get, will be great fits. Imagine the defensive fit of a Amen Thompson, Kawhi Leonard, and a Steven Adams together. That would be outstanding. And then your offensive Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant to go with that. And then you can have a DFS off the bench. You can have Tari Eason off the bench. You probably don't have to give up. Or if you want to say screw it, don't give him the restricted. You can go sign a Benedict Mathurin in free agency.
One last question: who's more in what should we do next season mode? The Rockets, the Magic, or the Pistons?
The Rockets. Just because the Pistons have their guy. Cade Cunningham is a top 10 point guard in the NBA. The Magic kind of know that they're stuck in these contracts, and they're more figuring out who's our head coach and who are we going to keep between Franz and Paolo. The Rockets have a fractured core because Kevin Durant, he was an idiot, decided to post by his teammates on his burner. They're young talent who just isn't as good as they thought they were. And also a coach you might let go of or trading Kevin Durant. So this entire team, you're encapsulating all the problems we've watched potentially happen last season, and then the diva that Kevin Durant is on top of it.
Kevin Durant, great player, cannot ever be
my dad and I are talking about it today.
To win multiple rings.
His legacy will always be tarnished because he just cannot, no matter what he does, the guy cannot stay on a team and make them better. I'm sorry, his best time in his career came from him joining a 73-win team.
Yeah, and he was he was the number 1 scorer. Let's be honest. That was Draymond, Steph, and Clay's team still, even with KD there. He was the number 4 in the locker room.
Speaking of Draymond, how funny was it that he made a comment saying Steve Kerr held back his offensive game? In a team we have Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Kevin Durant, why would Draymond never be the number 1?
I mean, I feel like with Draymond, though, his offense is more valuable than what the stat sheets would say. He is their guy that he's going to do the dirty work. He's going to be the screen assister. He's going to be the hockey pass guy. He's going to be the guy that is going to make plays and tell people where to go. That is what a guy like Steph Curry never was.
Yeah, you're 100% right.
Steph Curry was a guy who, Steph Curry's just going to run a million laps on one play and then get the ball at the last second from three. That's the way the Warriors offense was run. And a lot of that offense was run through Draymond Green. That offense in their peak, if you watch them back, that offense was historically run.
He was the facilitator, but I'm talking his scoring.
I mean, you could argue that Kevin Durant getting there killed his offense. Because you look at the season before they won 73 games, I'm pretty sure Draymond Green was averaging on, I think, 51% from the field and 42% from three, with 72% from the free throw line.
I'm very curious to see what this, and also, if we're being honest, like I think like teams that have the most pressure next year, probably the Warriors.
I don't know, because I think their pressure season was this year. I think their pressure season was realistically this year, because I think everybody realistically knew that this was this team's last ride together. Steph, Draymond, and Steve Kerr.
Yeah, you're not wrong on that.
And then that's why they made the Jimmy Butler and Kristaps Porzingis trades, because this was their last season. This was their hot seat season. And the Warriors made all these moves that if they didn't work out, everybody knew it was the next step. And I don't think Warriors fans are ready to admit that their team is just it. Their team has been passed by. Steph, with as great as he is still, has really not a team. He has a Draymond who is not that.
It's hard to not feel bad for Steph, man.
I know
with how good he is.
I despise this Warriors team. I think
it's justified. And looking at Steph, it's like, dear God, what more does the guy have to do?
I mean, he's made enemies out of everybody in the Pacific Division and really in the Western.
Yes, the Pacific Division. But if you like overall, man, he's a likable guy.
I don't know, throwing mouthpieces at because he doesn't like a call that gets thrown his way. No. Nope. I do not like Steph Curry.
Well, that has been it for our NBA portion. Bryce, there is something fun that we have a little bit of a time to talk about right now. Bryce had his first ever. So this has been a really cool year for Bryce. 2026 has been a year where he's seen a movie he was in, nominated for an Emmy. He finished wrapping up his first ever short film, but now Bryce is making his Tubi debut. Bryce, what's the movie called?
The movie is called Home Invasion. I am one of the hostages in the movie, and I loved it so much. It was one day of filming, and we were in a house, all of us were together, and we just shot a movie, and it was great. I love the whole cast. There was some drama that I'm not going to get into, but...
Correct me if I'm wrong, but is this your first time ever having speaking lines in a movie that's on a major platform?
I think so. I think it is, actually. I think so.
So what we're going to do is in the clips we have on TikTok and on YouTube, we're going to link the actual movie that you can go check it out. Bryce is in the first scene. We suggest watching the entire movie. I've already watched it. I enjoyed it. It's your usual Tubi movie, but guys, what we would love for you to do is post what the clips from Bryce, put screenshots, put it on your story and tag Tubi. Also, let them know we are really
excited. Go support the movie too. It's the number one movie on Tubi right now. It really is.
I'll say the movie itself is pretty good. I watched it. I had a lot of fun with it. But to let Tubi know you're supporting Bryce and you were excited to be there for him. Yeah. But besides that, hey, we had a lot of fun recording this. Tell us what you think we're dumb on. Tell us what you think we're good about. Either way, we enjoyed this. We're excited to see Bryce's short film come out when he has finishing the editing. He is in that process of putting all the clips together, getting the cool stuff, and it will be on this channel and Bryce's channel.
Yes. Alrighty. Well, the Shorter Boys and
sometimes we post this on the Shorter Boys channel, so I was thinking that.
The Shorter Boys and YouTube. The Shorter Boys and my YouTube channel. But anyways, that's going to do it. If you guys liked it, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.